Denison.
Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, yesterday you spoke glowingly of the city deals being struck around the country, but I understand the Hobart City deal, as it currently stands, won't include any funding other than for the Bridgewater Bridge, which has already been announced, and doesn't include light rail. Prime Minister, city deals are good in principle, but just thinly disguised election pork barrelling if the Commonwealth contribution only flows to seats you want to win or hold. So, Prime Minister, can you confirm the Hobart City deal will be finalised before the election? Will it include funding other than for the Bridgewater Bridge? And will it include a commitment to light rail?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'll ask for the Minister for Cities to respond. But, Mr Speaker, I would add that a total of $2.2 billion in transport infrastructure in Tasmania, including $921 million for projects we announced in this year's budget. And it's true, that includes $461 million for the Bridgewater Bridge. It includes $400 million under the Roads of Strategic Importance initiative. It includes $400 million to upgrade and improve the safety on the Midland Highway in Tasmania. It includes $38 million towards the $40 million Hobart International Airport runway extension, recently completed, which created 360 jobs, $17.5 million for the Huon Highway and the Summerlees Road intersection upgrade, creating 350 jobs, and $119.6 million, as we did early in our government, for the Freight Rail Revitalisation Project, supporting 200 jobs and improving freight transport links to key domestic and export markets throughout Australia and the world. Our government is delivering for Tasmania, and I'll ask for the Minister for Cities to add.
The Minister for Cities.
Well, thank you very much to the member for Denison for his question, and to the Prime Minister. I can confirm to the member for Denison that the deal will be completed before the next election. Indeed, we hope, Mr Speaker, that the deal will be completed by the end of this year, and it will be a terrific deal for Hobart, and indeed it will make Tasmania the first state or territory in the country to have two city deals signed. And so we look forward to that. And just a few weeks ago, I was down in Tasmania speaking with the State Treasurer, Treasurer Goodwin, as well as the mayors from the local councils, discussing what the shape of that city deal is going to look like. And we have foreshadowed that the centrepiece of that deal is going to be the redevelopment of the Macquarie Point precinct and the creation of a new Antarctic and Science precinct at Macquarie Point, and that will build on the very significant world-class research which Tasmania already does.
Minister will just take a seat. The member for Denison on a point of order.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Just on relevance, the question is very pointed. It goes to
members on my right. No, I can't hear the member for Denison.
I've asked very specifically whether it goes to additional funding other than the Bridgewater Bridge, and also whether there will be a commitment to light rail. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, I just say to the minister there was a long preamble to the question, which, as I've mentioned to all members previously, does open up the scope for the answer. I acknowledge there were some very specific questions, 3 specific ones at the end, right near the end of the 45 seconds. So I think the minister is being relevant to the question. To confine him to those 3 areas would have meant just simply asking about those 3 areas. The minister has the call.
So thank you, Mr Speaker. I was talking about the shape of the city deal for Hobart, and the Macquarie Point will be the centrepiece of that. And it, through our contributions, will contribute to Hobart being one of the world's centres for Antarctic research. And of course, we have the $2 billion federally funded icebreaker, which will be arriving soon, and it will be docking there at Macquarie Point as well, adding to that. There will be other elements of the city deal, of course, as well, and those details will be revealed, including the funding commitments, when we sign that city deal, possibly later this year, but certainly by early next year, well before the election, Mr Speaker. And of course, this adds to all of the other city deals which we've announced in recent times, including the terrific Geelong City deal and the Great Darwin City deal, as well as Western Sydney, Launceston and Townsville.